Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Reality After Show's coverage of Big Brother 28 for our Friday morning live stream. I'm your host, Bobby Goodsby, joining you as always. I join you Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 10 a.m. Pacific to noon Pacific, talking all things Big Brother, talking about what we've seen on the live feeds, saw in the episodes, what we think is going to happen with the week ahead. I welcome you guys all in here. I read your guys' comments live here on stream, so get your comments read live. Let me turn on the chat. We'll see people start trickle in here. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Friday morning / afternoon, depending where you're at in the country. You guys can find me twitch.tv / Bobby Goodsby or at After Show on YouTube. Also on social media at Goodsby Bobby on both Twitter /X and Instagram. If you guys can, hit that bell notification so you're notified when I go live. Also, please hit that like button, leave a comment, whatever it may be. Anything you can do helps the channel. So we had an eventful night last night, right? So last night, obviously, I think the biggest news from the episode as a whole was the fact that Haley won the blockbuster, right? And we all knew going into it. I mean, Haley had her back against the wall. It seemed like later in the day, Thursday, Dee and others were starting to flip the vote to, no matter what, protect Haley if she's against Chuck. But if she's against Barrett, it was still likely she was going to go home. So she needed to win, especially since Barrett was really close. He took the lead at certain points in that blockbuster competition, and Haley had to make a little bit of a comeback. So, if it would have been her against Barrett, I think that it would have been her going home. But I think the votes would have been there to take out Chuck, even if it was Chuck versus Haley, which Chuck was so far back in that competition. I don't think he was going to catch up at all. Would he get one ball on the platform? Like, Chuck just struggled on challenges all season long. So Haley goes on to win the blockbuster, takes herself off the block. We're down to Chuck versus Barrett. And at that point, it was pretty much just, okay, let's just get to the end of this episode. Let's just fast forward to the end of this episode. We know that Chuck is going home, that Chuck is a goner, and no matter what, Barrett's safe in this house. Let's just roll into next week and start figuring out this new HOH. So the episode ends. Obviously, Chuck is evicted from the Big Brother house. And then we roll into live feeds, right? And it seemed like the live feeds were down forever. I mean, last night during my live stream, we watched the episode, and I didn't end my stream until 2.5 hours in. So that episode, I think I was like 20 minutes late to the episode, getting my kiddo to sleep. So that episode was probably 40 minutes of that 2.5 hours. So we were down. The stream was down. The live feeds were down for probably about an hour and a half, hour 45, I want to say, of us just sitting here talking, waiting in chat for the feeds to come back. And when they inevitably did come back, we struggled at first to figure out who the heck's the HOH. At one point, Taylor said, "Oh, I'm going to tell Drew to put me up as a have-not." We're like, so did Drew win the HOH? That's interesting. Finally, Drew wins something. Is it somebody else? When we see Drew doesn't have the necklace around his neck. We're like, oops, sorry, just knocked the crap out of my desk. So then we're like, okay, well, if Drew doesn't have it, who does? And we finally get our answer. And let me just play a little video for you guys. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. We finally have our answer as to who is the new HOH. And let's share in the excitement with them. Sorry, I can't. Whenever I see, I can't put the Yosh. Get your guys' comments read live here on stream. If you guys are new here, say what's up. Let's see what Daryl Seymour says. Haley finally had a tough week. Yes, sir. Finally, I feel for her. She struggled all season long, and then it finally all came to a head. And then this week was just, the hardest of all the very hard weeks that she's had. So I'm so happy Chuck is gone. Hey, you and me both, brother. Like, honestly, like, this was best case scenario for good TV, right? Like, keeping Haley, yes, she makes you want to pull your hair out at times, but keeping Haley is much more the ideal outcome. And we're already getting the repercussions of her not going home on the live feeds, especially with her blow up today with Lala. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. A lot of back and forth, possible house meeting going on. It's it's craziness. A lot of bullying, people naming each other bullies. A lot of back and forth. Haley, you're a bully. No, Lala, you're a bully. Like, it's just never ending. It's never ending. What's up, KLB? How you doing, my friend? Welcome in. Get your guys' comments read live here on stream. Hope you're doing well. Daryl, hope you're doing well as well. Not gonna lie, was low key rooting for Haley for the drama, and I want her and Common to kiss. I mean, I don't know if that's I don't know if Common's into her like that. You know, like it doesn't come across that way to me personally. Watch me be wrong in this week. Their thing. Who knows? But yeah, rooting for Haley just for the drama, just so that we can keep it entertaining television. And I think that it's paying dividends right now with the whole Lala situation. And people are honestly off the Lala train right now. A lot of people in that house are very much so like I feel like it's full steam ahead. However, with Yash as an HOH, we're all like, this week could go a number of different ways. Some people thought that he would possibly go after, Melody, Mallory, Barrett, Drew, the FAP clan. But people were also saying, hey, maybe he'll come after the icons. Maybe he'll actually take that shot. It's good to know that someone like a Taylor is probably going to be safe this week. But what is he going to do? And we start to get some of those answers. Let me just pull this up real quick. So some of the answers we get for good and for bad. They're good and bad. The one problem I have with Yash is he says early on to Kamu, he doesn't want a male to go out this week, that he's not going to nominate a male. I'm like, bro. Oh, dude. How do you think that's going to play to America? Like, you could just do it, but don't say it, right? Like, if you say it, it's 10 times worse than actually doing it. So he has no intentions of taking out a male this week in the house, which we all kind of saw the writing on the wall, given how he's played this whole season and who his tightest connections are. Lala is crashing out right now. Her and Thog are crashing out like crazy right now. It's great to see. I can't wait to talk more about it. The clips, if you haven't seen the clips on social media, if you missed it, go check it out. It's so good. All right. Let's see here. The Angela Haley blow up was great TV. It was great TV. It was fun to see. If you haven't seen like the full version too, Pluto TV, like I think they dropped a clip of like the actual fight and the actual blow up without blurring out the curse words and stuff. It's so much better watching it on that version than it is seeing the edited version on the show. The crash out was real. It was real. The aftermath was real. It was crazy. This is my favorite episode of the season. The Thursday or the Wednesday episode? I feel like the Wednesday episode was really good. Thursday was I feel like they kind of yada it because it was just like, okay, let's see who's going. And Chuck's gone. Good. Perfect. Best outcome possible. I don't like Lala. Hey, so, honestly, I respect Lala as a competitor. I respect how she did in the HOH competition on the wall comp and how someone at 58 years old was able to win that challenge against, a fit freaking MMA fighter. However, yeah, like I think as the week progressed, it's not been great for Lala, especially on the feeds, more so than what you see in the episode, especially since her target didn't go home this week. So I do agree with you there. Chuck was right when he said that Lala is confused. I mean, she's definitely trying to play it up that that was part of her game, but I really don't think it is completely part of her game. Oops. Loved your stream with Brent and Philip yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, Brent is awesome. It was a great stream yesterday. Made me remember the good old days when it was Brent and I, talking about breaking down the episodes each week. That was a lot of fun. So it was good to have him back, even if it was for one day. At the start of the season, I was not liking Taylor, and now she's one of my favorites. I think Taylor is playing a very strong game. However, she needs to start winning some competitions. She needs to win an HOH, get a little bit of control. Yes, she had control last week because she basically ran Lala's HOH, but she needs to be seen in the house as someone that actually has power to themselves. So as much as I love like the move she's making under the table and doing things like, look at the relationship she built with Yash last week. I think that's what's probably going to save her this week, because there was a lot of people wanting to come after Taylor this week for sure, especially the icons. Lala was shook when she found out D won $1 million. Yeah. The Wednesday episode, yeah. So the Wednesday episode was good. It was really good. What's up, Karen? How's it going? I can't watch the feeds. LMHC at a school and they're blocked. Who is most likely going to receive the time capsule this week? So we don't know for a fact, but our initial intuition tells us we're thinking it's going to be one of Melody, Taylor. Outside of that, I think those are the two strongest candidates right now. I would say Melody or Taylor. Thog, aka Haley, thinks that she's gonna 100% get it this week, that it's already locked up for her to win and that America loves her and feels bad for her. I don't think that's happening. But if I were to take a guess, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be Melody this week. That would be my strongest intuition. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe Drew. I doubt Drew. I feel like Drew's kind of dropped off amongst the fandom. If Lala is safe, why is she crashing out? Because Thog is basically calling her out, right? Thog is like playing it up, being like, now that she's not on the block, now she can get her true intention of calling out Lala as all week bullying her. I think that's the big reason. And she's also crashing out here. Let me pull this up because I feel like this will clear up a lot of things too. Let me pull this up real quick, guys. Reality Barbecue, they always do an amazing job with their content, and I love things you need to know each day. So let me read through each one of these because it's kind of a lot. D. Devins, Drew, Barrett agree to keep Haley over Chuck, get Angela on board. So that was leading up to last night's eviction. After feeds cut, Lala upsets other house guests for the way she is acting. She was getting upset the way that people were having private conversations about the vote heading into the episode. She wanted Haley to leave. So I think that's a big part of it is Lala didn't let people just, kind of go and do their thing and try not to be too paranoid. I feel like the paranoia got to her because she really wanted Haley gone, like at all costs, when realistically there's a blockbuster that can happen and Haley can save herself and there's nothing you can do. So you need to let people have their own conversations, because at the end of the day, your job is done as HOH. You can go and tell them, hey, this is how I feel. This is what I really want to happen. But at the end of the day, you can't push your agenda because you can't control what's going to happen at that point, right? Like, no matter what, you don't have a say in the vote. The rest of the house is going to vote whichever way they want. And if you go in there barking orders, that's not a good look. It's not going to end well for you, especially because people are then going to use that as, well, now they're having basically HOH-itis telling me what I have to do. I don't like that. And if you're getting mad that people are having private conversations, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can't avoid it. Then in the episode, Haley won the blockbuster. Chuck was evicted 9-1. Haley expects to win the BB time capsule and says Lala treated her poorly all week and bullied her. God, Haley, stay classy. Like, stay on top, queen. Like, you are just completely on your own timeline right now. But yes, I do feel like Lala was harsh on her, but also defending her friend and Angela. But also, they just don't like each other. Let's get it real. It's not bullying one way or the other. If anything, Haley is very self-absorbed, and that's just not something that Lala likes. There's just oil and water, those two. Kamu, Haley reconnect and come to an understanding about what happened with Lyric vote flip and Kamu not using the veto on Haley. Which is a good conversation for Haley to have. Like, I think that was important, and the fact that she was able to talk to Kamu and come to some kind of understanding is big for her game, especially keeping that connection to Kamu, who's essentially one of the only ones she has that could possibly come back to her. Haley warns Drew that the tool shed wanted him to leave last week. Kamu later tells him D was part of the plan to flip and evict Drew. This is what I think is going to be very interesting. I think this will be a big part of the episodes. What does Drew do with this information? How does he take it? Is he someone that is just going to let it go? And honestly, good on Haley. That's the perfect information you need to throw out there, because Drew had all the hints in the world. It's like a lot of guys in relationships, right? Your wife, and I'm guilty of it too. Your wife could basically hint around what she wants a million times over and not actually say it. And then you have to put the puzzle pieces together. And maybe this is something that you get a little bit better with with age or with being in a relationship or what have you. Maybe not, because I'm guilty of it too. But they'll hint at, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Why haven't you done this? And then when you finally don't do it or you're not picking up on the hints, they just call you out like, what are you doing, dummy? Like it happens. Like, why didn't you not go do the laundry? Why did you, whatever it may be. And I love that Haley actually gave Drew that information. Now, what does he do with it? And the fact that Kamu later reiterates it and says that D was part of the plan to flip, I'm very interested to see how that pans out, especially since the Icons might be in trouble this week. Yash wins HOH. Haley thinks she is completely safe this week. She's not. Maybe a pawn. I do think there's a good chance she goes up. We'll get to that later in these comments right here. Yash mentions that he will keep Devin safe this week and doesn't want a man to be evicted. Little problematic to say that. You can kind of just do it, but don't say it. Like, what are you doing? Yash's current plan noms are going to be Angela, D, and Haley. Replacement will be Barrett if needed. Target Angela. Wow, guys, it's finally happened. The Icons are finally going to get a little bit of taste of the block and how do they handle the pressure of possibly going home this week. What to watch for today? Yash HOH meetings. Planning. Yash was not planning. Yash was not 100% locked into his pawn, Haley. That may change. Angela, D are likely hitting the block later today. Nominations, BB time capsule, punishment reveal, power punishment reveal. And that's it. No, great stuff by Reality Barbecue. If you guys don't follow them, go follow them. They're fantastic. All right. So let me get to some more of your guys' comments. Let me catch up on what you guys are saying over here. Fix that first. All right. I did feel bad for Haley when she was crying after Chuck left. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, it's going to happen. Everyone's going to lose someone they like in the house. I felt a tiny bit bad for Haley. Instead, she went back to her, I've always had the hardest time victim noises, but that's what we knew it was going to happen, right? Like, we knew Haley was going to go back to being the victim, to being like, I've had the roughest time out of anyone in this house. No one can say otherwise. America loves me. They're going to understand that I've had the worst weeks ever and that everyone is against me. They're going to give me the time capsule. It's already done. Wrap it up. Yash not nominating a man. I like that because it means my Devins is safe. And he said he wants to save Devins this week and not target him. So I do like that he's not targeting Devins because I like Devins in the house. But yeah, Haley is not getting it. And in the excuse me. Haley is not getting it, and the fact that she is so sure that she is getting it is hilarious. And that's what makes her so delusional, right? Like, that's what makes her a delusional queen, is the fact that she thinks that she's 100% good to go, that America is going to give it to her, and she's going to be very, very sad to see that's not the case. Watch it actually happens. Watch America actually does vote for her to win the power. I knew Devins would know that D had the power. No way he wasn't going to know. Yeah, like, that was always going to be the thing. Like, if he knew Angela won it the first or got the punishment the first week, he won it the second week, the only obvious person after that is going to be D. And then from there, it could be anyone. But those three are always going to be the three. So there's no way he didn't know that D got it. The only thing he could possibly think is, well, maybe something happened where America loves a certain person, and that's why they'll vote that person as the third one. But there's no way. You have to think it's D. Thanks for filming me. Hopefully I can catch up on some clips on social media. Absolutely. There's some great stuff out there. Watch the Haley Lala blow up today, and there's a lot of clips on social media, and it's great. I can't play them here just because copyright reasons, but if you guys can find them, go check it out. Angela said to Haley that people were cheering when she won the blockbuster, so that definitely adds to Haley thinking that the people are rooting for her. Well, yeah, people are rooting for good TV is what they are, but she doesn't realize that. She thinks that people are excited for her because they know that, Oh, she's had it the toughest out of anyone in the house. I mean, we're feeding the monster here, guys. We're feeding the monster, which is making for good TV. HOH itis for sure. Exactly. Lala is doing a full on apology tour this morning. She posted up in the restroom and got to everyone before they were even able to take their morning pee. So she was just camping out in front of the bathroom door, knowing people are going to go in there to go pee, and be like, "Hey, I know you got to pee, but we need to talk for a second." I'd just be over there and be like, "What do you need?" Sure, I accept your apology. Maybe that's the greatest strategy ever to convince people to accept your apology. Did Lala just find the way to break the game of that's when you need to confront people, is just guard the bathroom door and wait for people to trickle in every moment, have their morning pee, and just stop them and convince them otherwise? That we need to talk game real quick. Okay, yeah, sure. No problem. But can I just go? No, we got to have this conversation right now. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Haley is by no means innocent in the bullying, but she and Chuck spoke to nobody this past week. They made their own bed. And that's what it came down to, really. Like, they basically took the week off. We saw what happened with the whole Angela thing and everything that happened in the workout room. I think after that, they kind of just sat back and like let it kind of play out because the writing was already on the wall. But once the week ended, I feel like now Haley can really go back to full on thog. All right, let's see here. Lala refused Chuck's handshake before he went to the Blockbuster, so I get why Chuck didn't give Lala a hug before he exited the house. Yeah, the animosity was there for sure. I hope to find clips online after work. Yeah, you got to check it out. It's really good. I think Chuck really was shocked about the vote, which is pretty funny. You know, that's just par for the course with Chuck, though. Like, Chuck has always perceived this house in a different light than the reality. He also didn't know how to play this game at all, and that showed week after week. You know, I went into this game thinking, oh, you know, Chuck might be a good competitor. Let's see. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like he's fun, and just those expectations dwindled away. He was just as confused as Lala. Absolutely. People who think Lala had a good HOH, she spilt the beans on wanting the icons out to Drew and Barrett. She is a terrible player. I mean, the week kind of just progressed. It progressed in a way of showing Lala's like inability to fully understand how this game works. Taylor did a lot of hand holding with her to show her what she needs to do and how she needs to play this week out, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, an individual is always going to be an individual. And I think she played it very poorly. I thought her nominees were good. I think she had a solid idea of like who she needed to target and whatnot. But when people start having conversations about how they want the vote to go and stuff, and you're having a problem with people having their private conversations, that's a problem. And calling out Haley, it's just like, let it go. Like, just don't get involved. Like, but Lala had to get involved. Is Haley hated more, or was Keanu hated more? Oh man, that's a tough one. So in the house, obviously not outside the house, people loved Keanu. He won America's favorite player. I don't think Haley's winning America's favorite player. Let's be real on that one right now. I think in the house, Haley is probably hated more than Keanu, but I feel like Haley has more people taking her seriously, or at least listening to her, rather than Keanu did. Keanu like had zero social awareness, and Haley doesn't either. But Keanu also, everyone was lying to Keanu. No one wanted to work with Keanu. Keanu had his back against the wall the entire game, essentially. And even when Rachel occasionally tried to make that happen, but then it just didn't. But like Vince always was lying to him. Morgan was always lying to him. Everyone in that house constantly target Keanu. But the thing about Keanu was he constantly saved himself. He did what he had to do to protect himself and put himself in a position. And then ultimately his trust with Vince really, blew up in his face. Haley, however, I feel like she had Chuck. She's had Kamu to a certain extent at certain points. I feel like she still has a little bit of recourse in the house, but I feel like she's probably not liked as much on a personal level than Keanu. People just didn't want to work with Keanu because they thought he was, a big dum-dum when it came to social strategy. Haley is just not liked. So I would probably lean Haley, but she has more social recourse because this cast, I feel like, is a little more willing to let people play the game again. Like, how do I explain that? Like, they want to keep those communication lines open, opposed to Keanu had zero social standing in that house. It's a good question, though. I believe there's a scenario where Devins does not use his power if D goes up. I still think he's kind of homesick and won't mind going home pre-jury. That's where I'm thinking too. I don't think he'll use it this week. Maybe on D. I think he'll wait to see if he goes up, because we still have a few weeks until jury starts. He's honestly in a position where he could easily win this game. I feel like he's set up very well. So I hope he doesn't go out pre-jury, but I feel like there's a possibility he does something crazy with the power over the next couple weeks and blows up his own game so he doesn't have to get stuck in the jury house. That's just personally how I feel. Lala is definitely more confused. Chuck got played by, but Lala doesn't know what's happening. It's true. Lala is way more confused. She says it's part of her game. I don't think it's fully part of her game. She still doesn't really understand the game. Keanu won fan favorite, and I can't see Haley winning fan favorite. No, absolutely not. But like, if you're talking about social standing inside the house and outside the house, 1,000% Keanu is more beloved. I think Haley's getting there just because she's got like an Angela-like arc where Angela was such a paranoid player and the craziness that I feel like we could see Haley on the same trajectory when this season ends. People will, it's kind of like a mixture of Angela and Rachel Riley on Big Brother 12, right? Where Big Brother 12, Rachel Riley, everyone in America was like, oh my God, this chick is good TV, but she is a lot. This is a lot to handle. She is too much. Like, so glad to see her get her comeuppance. And then Big Brother 13 rolls around. She plays a whole different game and wins it all. And people are like, yes, queen, right? So like, I see Haley as someone they'll possibly bring back in the future, but she has the same kind of paranoia problem and social awareness as Angela. So it's like a mixture of those two from Big Brother 12 and Angela in her first season. Thog and Lala had a confrontation in the kitchen this morning. Lala says she's going to call a house meeting, and Haley says, hold on. Oops. Thog, go ahead. Let's do it. I'm not scared of you. Yeah, I was watching that clip before I went live today. It's so good. I hope the house meeting actually happens, and maybe it's happening right now. I don't know. I'm not watching the live feeds right now. I'm talking to you guys here, but I feel like a house meeting is inevitable, and I feel like a lot is going to come out in that house meeting if it does happen, especially with Lala. People are calling this Lala's reign, but this was Taylor's reign, 1,000%. And I don't think that's any question to us at home. But I love that Lala's getting more of the backlash because of her actions, that people are like, okay, yeah, we know Taylor basically ran this HOH, but Lala is putting herself as a bigger target, which is perfect for Taylor's game. I really like Taylor. I think she has a real chance to win this game down the road. Lala's still in there, LOL. She's now apologizing to Drew as he is trying to shower. And cut to feeds, of course. Taylor be coaching people how to play the game, and she is right. When she was telling Chuck to think bigger, I immediately said the icons. I think that obviously Taylor's had it in her mind this. I think for the majority of this week, after they were initially targeting Chuck and Haley, that the icons are the ones who they need to target next. So with Yosh getting power, I feel like that's huge for Taylor, because I feel like if the icons got power, or possibly even FAP, I feel like there was a chance Taylor could have been in trouble. But especially if the icons would have got power, for sure. For sure. Why is Lala saying sorry to people? Because of how she reacted when people were trying to have their conversations, when they were trying to flip the vote, because she didn't want the vote to flip. Also, I think Haley's making her feel like she was a little bit of a bully. Like, I feel like Haley calling her out, even though she doesn't believe it and it really wasn't that true, I think that Haley's got enough in her head where she feels like, okay, well, I want to double down and at least make sure I'm good with people. And that's why she's saying sorry. The fact that Haley and Melody are still in the house, I'm loving it. I want more drama with these two, honestly. And it looks like there's a chance it could continue. I mean, there's a lot that can still happen. There's a lot that can still play out. Nominees are not set in stone yet. But if Dog is, a pawn for the house up there on the block, I do worry about her potential to go home in that case. But she'll have a couple of outs to save herself. But I don't think Melody is touching the block. There's a chance she could touch the block if someone wins the veto or what have you and go up as a replacement nominee. Right now, they're saying it's probably going to be Barrett if there's a renom. But I could see Melody also being someone that could be potentially put up as the pawn for the week as well if things change. I could see her still going up as an initial pawn as well, too, instead of Haley. Does anyone realize that Taylor was pulling the strings during Lala's HOH? I think they have an idea. I think they know Taylor's a strong game, but Lala made such a big, splash this week with people that I feel like Lala's taking more of the heat, even though Taylor did more of the work. And Lala is now looked at as a threat because of how she did in the physical competition. Oh, you meant who was more hated in the house between Keanu and Haley? Got you. Yeah. In the house, yeah. Some were saying that Lala was too harsh on Haley, and Haley has now grabbed onto that and is saying she was being bullied. Yeah, and that's so on brand. That is so on brand with Haley. Is you give a mouse a cookie, right? You give a mouse a cookie, and they want a glass of milk to go with it. Like, Haley will grab anything she can. She needs anything she can to have some sort of target on that side of the house or on Lala in particular, who nominated her and targeted her all week. And they could have said anything to her. They could have said, hey, she says she doesn't like the cereal you eat. And Haley would have been like, oh, I got to go call her out on this. Here we go. So, yeah, I think that, honestly, I think they're both at fault. I think there's problems both ways, but definitely more so Haley just is completely delulu when it comes to how she comes across. Haley makes it hard to like her, and she basically chose to close herself off with Chuck this past week. Yeah, I mean, that was going to happen. Whenever you're a target and you've got two, it's either you or the other person. That tends to happen. In the challenge, someone said that Keanu's team doesn't like him, so his social game isn't good. I mean, that's just obvious in a lot of respect. I mean, I don't think he's even really close to anyone from his cast. So socially, that's one thing he's always lacked, but it's entertaining, right? I agree. I think Devin's and actually Yash, depending on how this week goes, and probably Mallory could easily be final three. It's possible. I mean, Yash getting into power this week is so interesting for his game because I almost don't like it for him because he was such in a good position where no one's outright targeting him, but also no one saw him as part of anything special. He did have to win power at a certain point so that he could have some win equity, but I felt like it should have come at jury or around jury because right now you have to lay your cards on the table and show where you really stand. And the fact that you won something is going to put a little bit of power into your pocket, and people are going to see that flashy object and know, okay, this is someone we got to look out for. So I feel like it was maybe a bad idea for him to win it this early, especially when we're 2 or 3 weeks away from jury. I think it's 3, if I'm wrong. I think after this week it'll be 2. Which there's still plenty of time for him now to have the target go on his back because now he's the one making moves and having a shot, taking a shot at somebody in a side of the house when there's real divisions in the house right now. I like it because I think it's going to be an interesting week. I think a lot can play out. And I love the fact that the icons are going to have their back against the wall. And what can they do when now they're finally not in a position of power? But I think as far as his long-term game, I don't know if I necessarily love the fact that he won this week. That's what Haley does. She also said that Melody was bullying her. That's her favorite word of the week, I think, is bully. So like we're in for a long week of the word bully being pulled out by Haley. Melody never bullied Haley. She was just brutally honest. She's one of those people that, as a mental health counselor, I love to watch play because she has no filter. And that's the best part, right? Like, Melody tells it how it is. If she doesn't like you, or if she thinks that, you're not playing a great game, you're not doing, you're not being a nice person, she will call you out on it. And she will tell you, hey, this is who I'm targeting as well. I really thought that Melody would have gotten the time capsule before Mallory. And Mallory's got a huge fan base, to be honest with you. Mallory's got a huge fan base. She's got a lot of people that like her because, she's giving a lot to the people on the feeds and stuff. I think that I totally saw a world where Mallory would win it, but I think Melody probably will get the time capsule tonight. We will see. So like I said, I think it's going to be Melody or Taylor. I think those are the two most in front people when it comes to us as fans. You got to take the casuals into perspective as well, where the casuals at home are just seeing the episodes. A lot of them don't watch the feeds, maybe stay away from social media, who knows, right? Or maybe they do see social media, what have you. I think that, yes, the online community and the feedsters are a big majority, or not, I would say a big part of the vote. I think the casuals are a bigger majority. And who are we seeing the most on our TV screens? It's a lot of Melody's perspective, especially the week that she was nominated by Haley. It's also a lot of, and how she survived barely by the skin of her teeth to survive that week. So that's really a hero edit. A lot of Taylor, and Taylor's, I love how like snide she can be with her comments in the diary room. And I love how she'll clap back in the diary room. And so I think people really, that resonates for a lot of people too. So I think those are my two front runners right now. I would have said Drew a while back, but now I think Drew is fizzled off. It seems like Mallory really started to grow on people once she started talking to other people in the house. Melody has been more closed off, but I think also to the same respect, I think people honestly see Mallory as more of a threat long-term. She's won a couple competitions. She also is someone who, is strong in a lot of these competitions where Melody can't win anything, and people aren't worried about Melody, right? Where, yes, Melody has been more closed off, but Mallory talking to more people and having the relationships and being good at competitions is more of a threat long-term to their game. So that's why I think for people, yes, she has good relationships, but I think Mallory is more of a physical competition threat, and people are scared of that long-term in this game. Haley should go back and watch Angela's first season when she's out. Oh, I hope she does. I hope she does. And maybe it's like it's like the Spider-Man meme where they're just pointing at each other. It's just like, I feel like Rachel from Big Brother 12, Angela from her first season, and Haley from this season, and they're just all pointing at each other. Like, it's the perfect Spider-Man meme. Someone needs to make that as a meme for social media. It'd be so good. Is Lala just camped out in the bathroom? I am not watching the feeds right now, so you guys got to let me know if that's still happening. I thought Melody would be more liked since they were showing her being against Haley a lot. I still think she's pretty well liked. I think people like her. I just think they're not worried about her as far as like competition. So she's not the most out there in front trying to build relationships or build alliances. She's kind of just hangs out with Mallory and Drew all day, and Barrett to an extent, where she doesn't try to go out of her way to continue developing relationships with other people in the house. And I think that is a detriment to her. One of Haley's biggest problems is she is such a poor read on the house. Like, poor read on the house, poor read on how she comes across and her social awareness. And very much so problems with understanding that her delusion isn't necessarily always the narrative. And don't get me wrong, guys, we say it a million times. Everyone's a hero of their own narrative. You go on Survivor, you go on Big Brother, you think you're winning it all, right? And when that doesn't happen, it's like a shock to your ecosystem. You're like, wait, this was not all about me. This was not wrapped up for me to win. This was not preordained for me to win. Everyone's the hero of their own narrative. It happens every single season. And I get it. But Haley's delusion is like far-fetched and on the extreme when it comes to how she thinks she's interpreted inside the house and outside the house and her game. Haley dishes it, but she can't take it. Yep, that's a big problem. That's social awareness. And if someone else says it, then she says they're a bully. Exactly. Like, that's 100% it. I actually like Barrett. He really knows the game well and has proven he can win comps. He's very smart. I mean, he needs to do more, guys. He needs to do more. He needs to win something. He needs to have some kind of say in the house. Like, he's a 6'6" tall guy who has good relationships, and no one was even thinking about going after Barrett last week. Like, he needs to do more. He needs to have more social equity. He needs to have more game equity. I've been hoping and praying for Barrett to do something for multiple weeks now, especially since he's one of us who comes from the podcast world and talks about this show and is a super fan. And he's really giving nothing. He's giving nothing in his confessionals. He needs to do more. And I just, every single week, I'm like, is Barrett going to do something? It's like the meme with the guy with the stick. He's like, do something. Like, that's how I feel with just Barrett's picture right there. I wish Mallory's punishment was longer than 48 hours. You and me both, brother. You and me both. No self-awareness. Haley is zero humbled after last week and hasn't pivoted at all. She's walking around so smug and delusional. But that is what we wanted. Is that not what we wanted, though, guys? Like, yes, it's irritating to watch, right? It's honestly captivating in the fact that you're just like, how is this possible that she's still not picking up on it? A lot of people end up picking up on it, social cues and what have you. She does not. But at the same time, it's kind of what we love her. And that's kind of like love her being there, is because we want that, because it's good TV. You need that villain. You need that person to root against. You need that person that just completely is not self-aware enough to realize their position in the house or outside the house. And it makes it just so fun. I'd rather that than have Chuck back for another week of him just laying around, not playing the game. Kamu, Devins, and Drew all told Haley that they thought Lala went overboard, went straight to Haley's head. 1,000%. Honestly, if I were there, I'd be just stirring the pot too. I'd be stirring the pot and making it happen. Haley is good feeds if you like fighting, but terrible at this game. But for the TV version, I'll take it. I don't think she has any equity to win this game. I think that if she gets to the end, she will preach in the end. I've had every single week hard. I've been bullied nonstop. America loves me. Why don't you guys like stuff like that? And then she loses like, what, 9-0. Whatever the jury vote is, you know. But like, if I were in that house, I would be dragging Haley to the end so fast. I'd be like, I want to work with you. I think we should go to the end together. I think you deserve it. You're a queen. You absolutely have earned my respect. Everyone else is insufferable. But please take me to the end. I think that you're going to hands down beat me in a unanimous vote. Let's continue this. That would be me personally. What's up, Robert? Welcome in. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Hope Haley is around for Zingbot. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't, you guys know me. I can't stand Zingbot. I think it's overplayed. I think it's irritating. But the one caveat I have with Zingbot is when we have a Vince and Morgan situation like last season, where it gives introspective to the house guests of what us on the outside are thinking about them when it comes to something, you know, off the wall, not game related. When it's like, oh yeah, like clearly, you know, we know you're messing around and doing what you shouldn't when this guy's got a girlfriend. And then their like reaction to it, like, oh my God, sorry, that I don't know if you guys heard that freaking trash guy just, that was so loud. Like shook the building. What the heck? But I think when it comes to Haley, God, I think Zingbot has so much. Zingbot has so much potential with Haley. if Haley's at all, like, they know she's going home this week, bring Zingbot in like 8 weeks early. I'm totally okay with it, because even though I can't stand Zingbot and all the others, all yada yada, I'm here for what he's gonna say to Haley. He should come in and be like, you've been bullied this whole season. You haven't had an easy week, and then whatever else, and like all these things that she's like, yeah, that tracks, and then just completely lay her on her ass with how she really is. It'd be so great. But they'll probably botch it and be like, not funny. Lala wants my Devon's gone, so I want her gone. Yeah, but luckily I don't think Yash is going to take that shot. He absolutely did not have to win this week. Yeah, thank you for agreeing, because I really don't think Yash should have won this week. I think he was in a great position. I think it's going to honestly be more detrimental to his long-term game because he won this week and has to show his cards. I love Dee and Devons. They know how to play. I think it's hilarious that they called Dee slow and inferred she was not a good competitor, but that's what she wants them to think. She's really playing it up that, hey, I'm new to this game. You guys, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Why did I not think of that? When really it was her idea that she put in their heads, and now they're playing it out thinking that it was their fact that they came up with. She's playing a great game, but it also makes her a big threat. Would Devons use the Diamond Power veto on D? I think there's a chance. I'm not going to rule it out just because Devons is such a chaotic player. I mean, look at him on season 50. Like, what he wants to do, like he'll do whatever off the wall thing to make good TV. So I'm not going to rule it out, but I still feel like he should hold on to it a little bit longer and potentially use it on himself. But I'm not ruling that out by any means. Let me catch up on your guys' comments. I don't get it. D1 Survivor, and they think she is dumb. Well, that's just them being dumb, and especially like someone like Barrett and stuff, like, or Drew. They should totally pick up that obviously she's playing this up on purpose. Yeah, exactly, which makes them dumb. Even with the whole Mallory Airlines thing, she is endearing people by letting her personality show. Also, if you watch that whole thing with like the Mallory Airlines, and she has everyone on the couch, like they're on the plane, and then she's like, all right, we're crashing, we're going down. The cameraman was even shaking the camera when she's like, like the cameraman was even playing into it. It was pretty wild to see. I think that'll go on the show. I really do. I feel like they didn't do all that for nothing. I will give Taylor credit. She knows Big Brother. She's a hell of a player. She's a hell of a player. Angela said it best. What was it? Week 2? Week 3? I forgot. Who was in power? I think it was week 3. It was when Haley was in power, I believe. And she's like, we need to go after Taylor. She's going to win this whole game. I think that was a very, very good intuition on Angela's part, because I think Taylor's strong. But then she was also immediately like, okay, no, let's go after Drew. I can see Taylor winning if she makes it to the end. I can too. I think she does need to win some power at a certain point. I think she needs to take a shot at who she knows who her targets are when it comes to like the icons, especially, or even FAP to an extent. But I think Taylor can win for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, Taylor's playing a hell of a game. I hope she goes far. I really do. And she's very entertaining in her DRs too. Haley smiling as Angela was yelling was cold as ice. There's too much downtime between noms and eviction. I wish they had a few more days of strategizing. Yeah, I mean, but for the reason why they do it, and we've said it here on the stream a couple days ago too, it's because of the editing, right? They have to be able to edit the show and have it ready to go in time. So that's why everything's kind of crunched over the weekend. And then there's like a big downtime between Tuesday through Thursday. But they have to do that for the editing for the actual TV show. So as much as I would prefer it to be a little more spread out, I see why they have to do it that way. But yeah, it doesn't show up to the people watching on the actual show, but for us feed watchers, yeah, it's condensed for sure. Barrett was a perpetual pawn, or will be a perpetual pawn. He is so well liked by the other house guests. Yes, but they also don't respect him enough that they think he has any equity in the game. Yes, he's liked. He's also been like hanging out with the whole FAP alliance way too much. He's been all over D We've seen that. Like, he needs to come out of his shell a little bit and like start, I don't know. Maybe it's just not in his personality, but I need to see more out of him. If Lala and Taylor were in the final two, it would be Puppet and the Puppet Master. Yeah, I think, and that's I think Taylor would win hands down. I think it'd be a runaway. Maybe Lala will get Angela's vote if she's there, but yeah, I think Lala, based off how she's played this game, even though she has respect from winning the wall comp, I do think that Taylor would absolutely crush in that scenario. He's playing too careful of a game, Daryl, like way too careful of a game. We've said it here. It's like he's a feed watcher actually playing the game, where he's playing the game, but like it's him watching the feeds while being in the house. Like he's getting the premium version of feeds watching, and he's just being too timid for sure. Barrett does need to do more, but his ties to FAP and crossovers are holding him back. I think he's happy to be in the background. I don't blame him in the fact that we say, play coy, play possum until jury starts and then come out of your shell. But he could give us more for the people watching the show at home. Right now on feeds, Josh is still telling Devins it's all about the dudes. I'm keeping all the dudes safe. Devins is all, oh, yeah, yes, of course, I agree. Yeah, I mean, what else is he going to say? Obviously not a good look for Josh. Obviously not going to play well. But Josh is also not very savvy when it comes to this game. Like, he's playing a good game, but I feel like he's unironically playing a good game, where no one's outright saw him as a threat, but no one's really including him as like number one plans. He's always just like plan C for people's agenda, where in the whole, all dudes thing is not going to play well. That works for me. My Devins must be protected at all costs. I heard that from a lot of people that the punishment should have been longer. Yeah, I wish it would have been longer. I mean, it did screw them, though. It did screw them when it came to talking strategy throughout the week, because people stayed away from them just because you couldn't have one-on-ones. It was just like you had to talk to both. So I feel like 48 hours as far as gameplay goes was probably enough. But as far as like a punishment, I wish it would have lasted longer. Excuse me. If that's the case, he has to realize that D is in trouble. I don't think he is nearly as invested in Angela anymore. No. I feel like Angela is someone he could easily lose, but he can't lose D. D is a crucial part to his agenda and where he wants the season to play out. I think if somehow Angela wins the power of veto this week, then I think there's a real chance the diamond power veto gets used on D, because then he'll realize, okay, D's in some real trouble here. If Angela's gone and Haley is the known pawn, which I'm sure he'll get that information at a certain point, unless he feels like he can get the votes rallied around it, he's going to possibly use that diamond power veto. But I mean, that's a lot. So we'll see. Let's be real, though. If a woman says she wanted to keep the other women safe, no one would care. It's a double standard. It's 100% a double standard, but that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to work. I don't disagree with you. I think in both aspects, it's single-minded, but people on social media are going to be way more for an all-women's alliance, as we've seen throughout the years, rather than all-male. And it's just not going to play well, right? It's not going to play well. I think both scenarios are not ideal when I think of gameplay, but yeah. KLB, it's a mystery why we are saying that. Yeah. Haley would absolutely be the perfect person to take the end because of that. Exactly. Take her to the end. Take her to the end. Drag her to the end. I'm your best friend, Haley. Take me. Oh, I agree, Bobby. I'm not mad that Haley hasn't changed. It's great for us. It's absolutely great. Oh my God, she will accuse Zingbot of bullying her. Please let that happen. Please, Haley. Please blame Zingbot as a bully. It'd be so good. It'd be delicious television. Haley is good TV. She's the villain we need. It makes it fun. Absolutely. And just the self-delusion for sure. 100% everyone in there should have final two with Haley. And I'd be telling her everything she wants to hear. I'd be like, I think you're going to win this game. I think you're the best competitor. You absolutely deserve it after everything you've gone through this entire season. Lala, how dare she come for you like that? I want to work with you to the end. Let's go. Like you and me, we are the final two. And then you just win 7-0 or 9-0, whatever the vote is. Not Zingbot. Haley would lose in a final two if she is sitting next to no one. It's like what Brittany Haynes said about Dan. Dan would have lost to a bottle of ketchup. I didn't know Dee was that invested in the Devins family before the Wednesday episode. Oh, they're best friends now. They're best friends now. Barrett knows how good a player Dee is, which is why he is staying close to her. At the same time, though, Dee has this mist about her where we've seen it on Survivor, we've seen it on the challenge, and now here we are in Big Brother, and it's happening again. She cuddled up with Barrett that first week, and now Barrett's never let go that that's a possible love potential there, which I can't blame him. Dee's a beautiful woman. I get it. But this has been her MO for how long? I mean, look at Austin. Like, hello. You can be close to that person, but you got to also keep them at an arm's length and make them realize, hey, I need to take you out before you take me out. I know you're a strong player. I think Devins is just agreeing to get intel. I agree with your Angela assessment. If Dee and Angela are both on the block and Devins uses the DPV on Dee, we'll know for sure. Yeah, but I think that also, I don't think he uses it unless something crazy happens in the original veto. Barrett is just playing the waiting game. We'll see. He's on the clock. Do you think Dee would take Devins to the final two at this point? I think there's a chance. I think Dee feels like she has a good chance against Devins. I think Devins still feels like he has a good chance against Dee. I could see them playing it out because how cool would it be for like the two survivors to be sitting at the end and like, yes, it's $750K. And I think Devins has the personal relationships with people locked in, especially a lot of the dudes. But Dee also has close personal relationships, but has also played a stronger, I think, strategic game than Devins. But it's also going to come down to what happens with their powers, how far do they get. If Devins doesn't touch the block, like it just shows how good he is, especially with someone like Yash. I think that there's real potential there that either one could win, and it comes down to how social did you strategize with people and how good are those bonds with people that are in the jury. Because I think they can argue almost a similar game, but we'll see. When it gets close to that money, people change, things change, a lot happens. Okay, my mouse just not working. All right, I'm not able to change the comments. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, there it goes. That was weird. It totally froze on me. Do you think Dee would take... Okay, I already said that one. I love Devin's reaction to finding out that Lala was targeting him. He was smiling and saying, I love it. I love it. Yeah, and I think that he knows where he stands with his people. And I know that he thinks that that relationship with Lala was never a strong one. And I think he kind of is honored in the fact that she actually thought about targeting him. But he knew that he had the social capital that he was never going to have to worry, especially against someone like a Haley or even a Chuck, if that came down to it. I thought the same thing regarding if women wanted to keep it all women. I mean, it's 100% a double standard, but like there's one that's more socially acceptable than the other. It's just how the world is right now. Like, and that's just not to say it's right or wrong. It's just how it is. I think Dee and Devins would take each other depending on who the third person was in the scenario of the final three. Yeah. Like if it's a Haley there, might be a different story. Even if it's a Lala there, I think it's could possibly be a different story. Or an Angela. I think any of those three. I think they think otherwise. But especially if it's Dee, because I feel like Dee has such a good connection with Angela that would be best in her favor to carry Angela to the end. But who knows? Maybe they'll continue to say, hey, let's just let it ride and see, let the dice roll. Kamo did very well in the memory challenge. Barrett was so close to beating him. Barrett, I know, just one square away was crazy. I didn't realize how close it was. So close for Barrett to win the veto. What do you think happened to Barrett won the veto? I think we had the same week. Obviously, he uses it to save himself. I think someone like Drew could have gone up. It's hard to say. I mean, even Kamu could have been put up as a potential pawn. I think that the same week plays out though, no matter what. Could have been like a Mallory or Melody. I know I just said like half the house, but yeah. Who dat? What's up, Humane? Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. If Devins or D had to pick between each other or Haley to take to the final two, that would be really tempting. I mean, I would take Haley in a second. I don't care how close I am to you. Listen, we did this together. We made it to the final three. Really enjoyed our time. We killed it on the show, but I want to win $750K, and that's a surefire way to win. So if it's me, I'm taking Haley all day, and I'm getting as close to her as possible. So in case she wins, she takes me. Are all three icons up? So right now it's sounding like Yosh is going to not put Devins up because he doesn't want to target a guy at all this week. He's not going to put a guy up this week. He said that and made it very clear that a man will not touch the block. So it's looking like the nominees at this moment are going to be Angela, D, and Haley as a potential pawn, but we all know how that plays out. And I think since it's Haley, it could play out very poorly. Yash doesn't want to nominate the men. Yep. No, D, Angela, Haley as of now. Dog can't be the pawn forever. No, but it makes such good TV if she is. She's going to crash out. We're already seeing the crash happen with Lala right now on the feeds. So good. I love the show calls her Thog. It's so good. It's so good. Lock in. Okay, I'll lock in with my water right here. Yeah, you guys were killing me last night. Anytime they say lock in the chat, I have to drink. I think I was like 5 beers deep by the by the end of the stream because everyone was hiding the words lock in somewhere. Angela blows up on people like Jason and Haley, and then she makes up with them straight away. She's just the most paranoid player of all time. So crazy. I would cuddle with D, but I would know she is only doing it for the game. And that's how most people should do it. Most people should know that, but they don't. And it just happens every single time she plays a game. It's crazy. It's obvious. 3 spots on the block are enough for a trio to go up. Yeah, but I don't think the shot will be taken at Devins this week. D now knows how long a real game of Survivor is, right? Yeah, because we're on day 39, aren't we? Yeah, welcome to like this is a real Survivor. Man, you think about it, I feel like that's been a long time. It's been a long time since the start of this season. So, you know, the old school Survivor, man, hats off to him. Yeah, she's officially played as long as an old school Survivor. Yash telling Mallory right now in her one-on-one with him that he doesn't want to put Haley or Lala up because he promised them he wouldn't. I don't know if is he trying to say, hey, potentially you might go up? I still think he said that Haley sounds like the potential nom, but we'll see. D has gotten close with Angela, so she might take Angela over Devins. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I think it'd be a smart game move, but I'm just saying there's potential there that she keeps Survivor strong. But yeah, I think she would probably take Angela. Kamu has put excuse me. Kamu has put himself in a good position. Got to give him credit. I mean, look what he did this last week. No one had a better week than Kamu did. And right now, no one is actively targeting Kamu. Not a single person, I think, in that house would have come after Kamu this week initially, or even had him as a target. Potential pawn, but I think no one would have come after him as an actual target. And I think that just shows how great of a game he played from where he was last week, where he got blindsided in the vote, to basically look at the contrast. And I think this was very clear in Wednesday's episode, where if you look at the contrast of how when Angela told Haley, hey, I'm sorry, I lied, this is what happened, she initially was like, okay, but why? And then she just turned into thog mode and was like, okay, but this doesn't make sense for your game, blah, 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 blah. Why would you do this? We had something great. Now I can't trust you. Chuck comes in after he gets information from Haley, and he's just like, why would you do that? That was stupid. That was terrible gameplay. I don't want a hug right now. No, you like, I don't want anything to do with you. Like, just completely hands off of Angela. And then you see the contrast of when she goes and tells Kamu. And she goes up to Kamu and she's just like, listen, I'm sorry. This is what I did. I lied about the vote and I feel terrible about it. It was on my conscience. I had to let it go through. And he's like, listen, it's just a game. Come here. It's all good. Gives her a hug. He's like, we're good. We're good. Like, I understand it. I would have been there. I would have voted with you guys. I wish you would know that. But I want you to know, like, I have no hard feelings towards you as a person. It's just a game and we can move up from here. That's how you handle those situations. And it's mind-boggling that in 2026, through 28 seasons of this show, people don't understand that. He's played fantastic. You can feel however way you want about Kamu, but what he's doing in the game and how he's handling those social aspects of the game and how he's not coming down on people, you know, getting angry like Haley and Chuck or standoffish, what have you. And he's saying, let's reconnect this relationship. Let's build from here. That's how you play this game. That's how you win this game. Kamu's playing the best this last week by far out of anyone in the house. KLB, not putting them up is good. Keeping the drama, exactly. The idea of leaving all people of one sex race on the block unless you're in alliance with them is not always a great idea. Nope, it's not. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I think, you know, we saw like the cookout, which obviously I think that for the reasons at hand, and they were all working together from the start, and like this, they had an agenda that they wanted the first black person to win on their season. I totally understand that, but like to play it out as like all male or all female or what have you, I don't know. I don't think it plays well in the long scheme of things, even though people would be all about the all-female alliance for sure. I don't know what Yasha's long-term game plan is or if he even has one. You and me both, brother. Like, Yash is an interesting player to watch. Yash would kill on Big Brother 12. Yeah, especially with the all-guys alliance. Yeah, for sure. The brigade would have brought Yash in a minute. Oh, yeah, all drama all the time. LOL. Rick didn't play a full season because of Edge of Extinction. He did and he didn't, right? He did and he didn't. Like, it was a whole different game, honestly, for that season. Honestly, I didn't think Devins would last as long. Devins isn't used to playing from the top. He's doing a good job for his first time. It's very true. He should have been a target early on, for sure, but he wasn't. And I think that for Devins right now, the way he's playing and where he's positioned himself in the house, he's playing great from being on top the whole game. He might go into this week as the only one who's never been nominated if somehow Kamu gets himself put up, even though I don't think it's going to happen. But that just shows where Kamu and Devins are, where they potentially are going to be the only two players who have never been nominated so far this season, and it shows how well their social game is. Mallory really pushing for Kamu. Yash says he will save that nomination for her HOH. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Devin still went through the Survivor experience for longer. Yeah, over a total of days for sure. Mallory, do Kamu when you win HOH. Like, that was the only person that I saw that there was potential there for Kamu to have like some kind of threat level. But even then, I feel like he would have the votes to stay no matter what, just because he's got enough social standing in the house. Seems like Mallory is off the putting D on the block train. Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's going to happen if she gets into power. But right now, she has no control over it. Is Yash changing his mind about nominating Haley? He was always on the fence about it. He was always kind of like, that's someone who I think I could put up on the block as a potential pawn, because she was just up last week. It's kind of inevitable sometimes. But I think that he's open to the idea of not putting her up, which I think would be smart, because I think she could be a big target if he does. Besides not nominating the men, who knows what Yash is going to do? So that's the biggest thing. Is I feel like this whole vote could go, or this whole nominee ceremony could go a number of different ways in the next few hours, depending on the conversations. But I still don't think a guy's touching the block. If the final challenge is making fire, Devins is good to go. We'll see. It's definitely not that, but yeah. So D and Angela, definite noms. Who is the third, if not Haley? The only other choice is Melody. I think Melody is probably one of the top contenders. I think it's probably going to be Haley, but I think Melody or even possibly Mallory are in trouble there. I mean, obviously, those are the women left in the house. I don't think Taylor or Lala touched the block because of the relationships they've had with Yash, especially last week, and what they formed with Kamu, Yash, Lala, and Taylor. So I think they're good there. I think that was a big thing that they did, was developing that relationship with Yash. Looks like Devin's going to use his power. Oh, really? Is that what they're saying on the feeds right now? That's interesting. That's very interesting. No, he's not really committing in this conversation. I think he's just trying to feel it out and see where Mallory's head's out. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. Imagine in the final challenge they bring in Chris Underwood and you have to make fire against him. Devins would have immediate PTSD. Immediate PTSD. No, he's not nominating Lala or Taylor. I think they're fine. They're completely good. He did tell Mallory that she can relax this week, but I mean, he could say that now. He could say that now with the potential of changing that based off veto, etc. I'm hustling guessing that Devins will use the power of D on the block. Okay, so you're just saying that. Okay, I mean, guessing. Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah, I don't think he would, but I think there's potential if the wrong person wins veto. I think then it could be a question if he's going to use it or not. Yeah, gotcha. Which, if only nominating females, the only choices are D, Angela, Haley, or Melody. I still think Mallory could be a choice. I just don't think he will. I think he'll keep that relationship there. So yeah, I think those are the four. I think those are the four. Any combination of those four with D and Angela for sure going up, and it's either Haley or Melody as that third nominee. Only 4 of the 7 men on 12 were in the brigade. Imagine if Yash was part of the other 3. Yeah, imagine. He would be so at home there. Stupid spell check. I gotcha. All right, guys, real quick, I'm going to do a quick commercial break from our sponsor. So bear with me. I'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Oh, hello there. You want to know the secret? Bad strategy gets you blindsided! Bad skincare keeps you chasing the same problem. Tons of body washes and soaps strip away the lipids your skin barrier needs, allowing moisture to escape later. Big O Bar changes the game with a 2-step system powered by ostrich oil. That's right, ostrich. Rich in omegas 3, 6, 9. You know the numbers. Clean with the bar, restore with the whip balm, and protect your barrier. No gimmicks, brother! No 12-product alliance. That's right, it's Big O Bar. Whew. Clean, restore, protect. Visit BigOBar.com, promo code SURVIVOR. They love it when we do that. That's BIGOBAR.com, promo code SURVIVOR. For 10% off. Johnny Fairplay sent you! Woo! I wouldn't lie about that.
Big O Bar brand. Go check them out. 10% off at checkout when you use code SURVIVOR. Tell them Johnny Fairplay sent you. Yeah, that commercial's a lot, but it was a lot more to edit. So just know you saved yourself from that. But big shout out to our sponsor, Big O Bar. Shout out to them as well. All right, so it's looking like obviously D is starting to see the writing on the wall. I was looking at the feeds stuff on Twitter right now when I was playing that commercial. D seeing the writing on the wall. She knows for sure that Angela's probably going up. We see her talking to Devins in the kitchen, being like the vibe is weird. Does D use her $5,000 bribe, BB bribe, on Yash and be like, hey, I'll give you this $5,000 if you don't put me on the block? I think there's some real potential there. And I think Yash would honestly be kind of open to it. If you guys, I know it's just $5,000, right? And I know people would say, you're playing for $750K. Why are you worried about $5,000? Why would you even accept that? $5,000 is equal to the amount of money that they just made by being on the show for the last 5 weeks. So you just doubled your stipend in 2 seconds, and all you have to do is just not nominate someone. Even when the main, target for that person is Angela, I think there's a real chance there that the bribe could be taken. It could be something. Haley would have gone if she didn't win Blockbuster, right? I think she would have survived if it was her versus Chuck, if Barrett would have won the Blockbuster. But against Barrett, I think she 100% goes. Fair play shower is better than Chuck. Icons having their back against the wall for the first time, good TV. It's so good. And it's what we needed. It's what the season needed, I think, for sure. I think Yash is forced to take the bribe. So I think if he takes the money, then he's forced into doing what he says he's going to do, but he can say no to the bribe. I think that's how it plays. Like, if she can offer the bribe and he could say no, and then nothing happens. But then does she still get hold on to the bribe? Or does she lose the bribe because the person said no? That's a little more, I feel like, unsure. I feel like she'd probably just keep it and have to use it again later. But I think he has to accept the bribe for it to actually play out. If I'm reading that right on how that whole thing works. But who knows? It's Big Brother. Yash would likely take the bribe. I think he would. I think he would take the $5,000. You're telling me just give me $5,000 and I don't have to put you on the block? Done. Easy. Who do you think is playing the best game right now? I mean, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I think there's top-tier players. Even though I don't think this is the greatest cast in the world, I think there is layers to this cast. I think the Survivor players are playing very, very well. I think they've got a very good sense of the game and have great relationships. I think they're at the top. I think Kamu's at the top. I think he's played phenomenally well. I think outside of, Mallory and maybe Melody, I think those, and maybe even Barrett, I think those people would target Kamu, but not, I don't know if they'd even have the votes to get him out, depending on who he's up against. So I put Kamu up there, and I also would probably put Taylor up there, even though she's been playing from the bottom for a while in terms of she doesn't have the social standing when it comes to gameplay compared to everybody else. I still think Taylor is playing a damn good game and has potential win equity at the end. Everyone else is either mid-tier or lower tier, but those would probably be my top four of any combination of D, Devins, Kamu, and Taylor at the top, and then everyone else kind of mixed in the middle or the bottom, for sure. But like I said, it's not the greatest cast. Besides Haley and Barrett, who do you think is playing the worst game right now? If I had to exclude those two, I would say Lala, Angela, even though Angela has her people. And besides Lala, I just saw that right now. I would say then if we can't include Lala, I'll say Angela. Honestly, to an extent, Drew. Like, Drew's not playing a very good game when it comes to like seeing the writing on the wall and understand he's too developed in that relationship with Devins. I love that he got information from Kamu and Haley this week that he was the target for the Toolshed Alliance a couple weeks ago. What does he do with that information? Does he just run it back to Devins and it goes nowhere and it just puts more of a target on Haley and possibly Kamu? I don't know, but I think Drew needs to get his head out of the sand for sure. Lock in. All right, I'll take a drink of water. All right, let's see here. We're going to have to start wrapping up here soon. Yash would for Vince over Ashley. Okay, Yash would vote for Vince over Ashley just because Vince is a man. I don't disagree with you. I think 100% he probably would have. Besides D and Devins, Taylor is my top winner pick right now. I think that's fair. I think that's fair for sure. I have to put Kamu up there, though, too, for sure. If Yash always got HOH, women would be extinct. Underrated comment right there. Let me just see if there's anything on social media right now. It's a lot of just clips of people talking. So Mallory and Yash in chat. Angela talks to Kamu about Lala Haley situation. Kamu addresses the good TV situation feed switch. So, Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of just Haley and Lala and their fight and like how they're both kind of in the wrong. Evil Dick interviewed Drew's dad for over 2 hours. It's on YouTube if anyone is interested. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out. I gotta see if I can get Drew's dad on here to talk. I might have to reach out to Drew's dad and see what we can work up. I'll get Fair Play to reach out to him, even though he lives in Temecula like I do. Maybe that'd be the easiest way to get Drew's dad on here. Yoshkade. I think Drew will make top 6 at least, but does he have any win equity to win it all? I don't know. People were high on Drew early on, not anymore. I mean, I was too, but then he just couldn't see the writing on the wall. He couldn't pick up all the hints. He wasn't like, you had all the information in front of you and did nothing with it and just continued to trust those people that clearly didn't have your best interests at heart. And I know it's different because we see what we see on the outside, but he had a lot of hints in front of him and just didn't play through. And the fact that his closest ally, Barrett, didn't reveal that information to him, and now he's getting that information from, Kamu and Haley. It's like, Barrett, that's not good, man. That's not good gameplay. You should have, especially when that FAP alliance started, he should have been the one coming to Drew with that information. He's still on Team Icon. He still trusts them, and that's his problem. He's built into the lore. Drew is an example of peaking too early. Exactly. Because we saw like he was playing a good game from the start where he was making, inroads with the other side of the house, but he had his true alliance and he was with the Icons who we all liked and who we all wanted to see at least get far in this game. It seemed like he was bringing back the information. And then Angela's paranoia took over and completely ruined that. But also at the same time, when he had the target on his back, he was not able to pick up on it at all, for sure. Druther's Unite. I mean, I was a Druther for sure. I still kind of am, but I just know I see it as like he clearly doesn't have the win equity right now, even if I do love him as like somebody in that house and want to see him stay. Drew being in the game is good for Devins, but I feel like at times Devins doesn't even realize that. Like, I feel like at times he's totally willing to let Drew go. But it's great for Devins' game having Drew there. He should pick up on that more for sure. Haley being in the game is good for Devins. I think so too. I don't think she'll outright target Devins. What do we call Haley fans? Thoggers? Sure. Drew could maybe beat Barrett. It's possible. I think he could also possibly beat Haley. Lala. I don't know, though. It's a good question. I don't know where he would fall when it comes to his game standing if he was in the final 2 right now. A lot can still play out, though. A lot can still play out. All right, so let's see here. I'll read Daryl's right here. I can see Devins winning, which I wasn't expecting when the season started. I thought he would be too big of a target and that people would try to get him out straight away, and that's the most impressive thing. Honestly, all of the Icons, the fact that they're still in the game and have not been nominated up to this point, shocking for sure. Drew can definitely beat Barrett. I still think a lot can play out this season, so I'm not going to say as of right now I think he would stand a chance for sure, but I'm not gonna say anything yet just because there's so much season left. A lot's gonna play out. I want to see him get power. I want to see what he can do with it, and that's what we say for pretty much anyone. But Drew in particular has to get power and see the information that comes to him once he has that power, and then he can kind of sift through the bullshit. And if he still can't sift through the bullshit, even after being in power and having people come up to talk to him and give that information, then he's just not a good player. Then again, Drew age would hold him back. I don't think it's. I think he's pretty respected, and people. Yes, he is younger, and he's the youngest one in the house at 22 years old. People might be leery of giving a 22-year-old $750K, but if he plays a good enough game, you gotta respect it. People would be like, he's just a kid. Give it to the older guy. It depends on who he's up against. Thog can beat Haley in a final 2. All right, guys, with that being said, I think I'm going to head out of here. We've been going for like an hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate you guys. If you guys are new here, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. You can also find me at After Show on YouTube. I go live Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, 10 a.m. Pacific to noon Pacific. I also do my live stream with Philip and Lauren each week where we break down the week as a whole Usually we do those on Wednesdays or Thursdays. And then Thursday nights, I do my live watch party of the episodes here on YouTube and Twitch at Goodsby Bobby on my social media. I posted a reel of me and Brent from yesterday's interview with Brent about his thoughts on the Big Brother 28 season. So if you want to get Brent Wagamont's perspective, you can check it out on the show archive here at After Show under the Big Brother section, or you could see the clip, the reel that I made on my social media. It's also on Brent's social media. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys that joined me in the chat. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday afternoon. I'm liking the season more than I thought. I think the season's finally coming onto its own, Daryl. I think this season's finally starting to pick up steam. It was a bit of a slog there in the middle for a minute, but it's starting to pick up, and all the pieces are in place. It's going the way we needed this season to go through 5 weeks of the season. So with that being said, I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday when I come back to talk all things about what we saw on Sunday's episode and what has happened over the course of the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, guys.